What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're working on our 2018 Skidoo 850. Now, if you saw our last video we posted, we did an install video on the skid, the drive shaft, and those awesome Avid Products drivers. What we have to do in this video, we got to put our secondary in, and we're also going to be putting the primary in. So we got this here. This is a Skidoo. This is the factory secondary. This one, it's the update from the 2020 sleds. It's just got the massive fins on the secondary. Of course, we're running our Silberturbo helix and spring in this. And then, yeah, so the shaft, the outside, and the inside, all brand new stuff. So we'll go ahead, we'll install this first. Super simple. I'll set you guys up on the camera. I'll kind of show you a little bit of what I can, but we got both sides we're going to be working on, so I'll set you guys up. Okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to set this in, so be nice and easy with it. Guide it in, then you'll have to get it kind of inside of there. Give it a couple light taps. You don't want to hit it overly hard. And then we got to get this bearing kind of seated in there. So you want a pry bar, support the inside, and then just kind of hit, and it should seat itself. Yeah, so what I like to do, I come in here with a hammer, I hit the back side, just kind of press in. You'll eventually just come to the bottom, go in with a flashlight and a mirror, you'll see the back side, and make sure that bearing is fully seated though. You got that fully seated, now take your keeper, a little bit of Loctite, I know, I'm using red, put that in, make sure it comes, pretty much sits flat. Put your nut on. You want a 13 mil, tighten it all the way. Okay, we're on our chain side. You want to take your little spacer, put that on. Don't forget to put that on. Then you just take your chain, kind of walk this in. You should be able to get it to line up. Just like that. I did have to back off some tension, so we'll get into that here right quick. Just how we're going to set that up. But we got to put our bolt in, and then we got to torque it. Final thing we got to do, Loctite this bolt. Just a little, don't need a lot. Then we'll put our bolt in. This bolt here, we got to torque to 35 foot-pounds. So I got the brake applied, which will hold this. And then torque wrench is already set. Run it in. Now I got to redo my brake. So there we go. That's torqued. Now we can go ahead, we'll put the cover back on, we'll give it one quick spray out before we do that. And I'll set up the free play here while I have this open. Alright, so free play in the chain, it's kind of like your deflection almost, so we're going to set that. See how this clutch can move quite a bit? Now I have the brake on, so that's all in the chain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten up the chain so we have very minimal play here. So you'll end up using your little torques here. You want to go clockwise. I do believe. So if you can see it, you know, we'll take all that out visually. I know I backed it off about 3 turns, so that's what I'm going to go back. I got to put 3 turns back to it. See how that chain's getting fairly tight? We'll just shake our secondary. It's about as tight as you want it. You have a little bit of play, not much. And we can see our chain has a little bit of deflection, but not overly tight. So there we go. Now you set your pin back in. And there it is. Just a final look at our clutch. There's no, see, very, very little play. That's all you want. That's right from Skidoo. If you look up Dave Nerona, he did a video on this as well. That's where I have my information from. So now what you want to do, we want to throw our cover back on. So I went ahead, I cleaned out my cover already. I want to just set it in there. For me, I have to pull the turbo out of the way, just so I have access to all the bolts and whatnot. I always start with this big son of a gun right in the center. It's a T40. Put that in, put all your other bolts in, tighten them. Just torque them with a 3/8 wrench. Go tight. That's all it needs. Don't try and go overly tight on this, as you don't need to. Final thing, we got to put oil in. So I run the XPS synthetic chain oil. Pretty much you buy a bottle of this, you put the bottle in. Really simple. Make sure you have your drain plug in. And I just do this. Now I did have to take the turbo out of the way. If you have a can, you should have enough room, or the stock suitcase. So put your oil in. I just pretty much put it right on the bolt and squeeze. You should be able to get all of the oil out. Try not to spill too much. So there you go. Basically, the whole bottle's in there. It's good to go. Take your vent plug. Final thing, put that in. Alright, so we went ahead, we got our secondary all installed. Just showing you guys, chain case, that's all good. I went ahead, I put the turbo back in. Of course, I didn't have all the lines disconnected, just kind of pulled it out of the way. If you guys have a suitcase, like the stock can, or another can, depending, you might not have to pull it, maybe will. But what we're going to do now, since our secondary's in, I just went ahead, I cleaned the end of the crankshaft there, prepping for our primary installation. So, I'll kind of go over this with you guys. This here, it's a P85 Polaris primary. Now, it's got a set of the heavy hitter weights. These are fully adjustable. They have little set screws you add and take away, just so you can tune how the ramp is and all that. But this, I got it machined by PowderFreaks. Dwayne, the owner, he did the work for me. So kind of looks like they take and machine that out and then press in a new flange, or I guess a new collar with the proper taper and everything. I'm not sure the 100% on what he does, but he takes this clutch and makes it so we can, you know, replace this one. This is our stock Skidoo one. It's a great clutch, don't get me wrong. The only reason I am upgrading, you know, we had that bolt go through. So this one's kind of toasted. I might get this machined, but there's also damage up here at the ramps and on the spiders. So that one we'll leave on the shelf for another day. Before I look at it, maybe I'll rebuild it, maybe not. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put this on. One thing you do need for this conversion, you need a factory XM bolt. So there you go, there's the part number, M14, 153.5 millimeter bolt. and then you also have to get the washer with it, as it does not have one. So we're going to put this on, and we have to torque this to 90 foot-pounds. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put this primary on. Take it. Now, I know there is a D-notch here, and in the overview video, I might have said that that is what they machine. Looking at this, there is nothing, so there is no indexing. We're just going to go ahead. We'll set it on. And there we go. So I did have to loosen this off just to give me access. Just a couple screws. And now we'll put our bolt in and we'll torque this up. So I took this hammer handle I had, I just put that in. It should be enough just to stop that, and we should be able to torque. You don't want to go, you know, if you have the proper tool, it's great. I don't, so just kind of use what we have. There we go. So we're torqued now. Of course, you take your wood out, no damage to the wood, no damage to your clutch. There you go. That's as easy as it is to do this swap. Now we do have a new belt that I'll throw on. Dwayne also says, of course, torque to 90 foot-pounds and then go back, re-torque that after one ride. So we'll spread the jaws here and we'll put a new belt in. Last thing we got to do here, we got to put our belt on. So we're going to be running these Ultimax SX 803s. This is what Dwayne says to run. It's a softer compound belt, and compared to your factory do, this is a 571. It's actually 1/16 of an inch narrower, and kind of just lining it up. It very well could be. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see that it is a little bit different. Be hard to show you guys on camera, but if you need to, you can run a factory do belt with this just to get you out of somewhere, but you will get your best performance running this belt here. So I put my belt on. I like being able to read this. Of course, this one's all kind of cold. So spread open your secondary using your little tool there. So get it right spread. No, you do go around the primary first. So do that. And then get in there. As you let out your secondary, you'll have to spin the track over just to get it to come back out to where it should be. I set my belts so you're right in the top of the groove there. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. Let me get a little better lighting. So yeah, top of the groove, right like that. Now, once I run this for a little bit, I will have to readjust. But now I'll just go ahead, I'll tighten this clamp, and that's set. And yeah, we'll let this kind of break in. I gotta put the rest of the sled together, and there we go. Alright, let's go. First start up with the P85. I just had to loosen the belt just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to have to loosen it some more. So here we go, we're going to do our first start up with the belt on and the P85. I just dropped it down there just so we can get it to run, and then of course we'll get it up. I think this belt fits a little tight. I had some issues trying to get it to start, but it does run now. So. Well, right off the bat, having a little bit of difficulties. I'm going to just show you guys this. See how sticky that is? So it wants to, you know, it really wants to engage the secondary right off the bat, making it hard to start. I think the belt just needs to be broken in. Not 100% sure. I'm going to make contact there with Dwayne from PowderFreaks. See his opinion. He has this set up on his sled, so not quite sure what's going on. But gonna get it outside, gonna ride it, just see if I can, you know, get this running a little proper. Alright, so it's the next day. I'm gonna add this to the installation video of this clutch. Now, I'm having an issue right at the moment. As you can see, the belt is extremely loose. You know, it should be sitting up higher, but I can't do that right now because this clutch is actually engaging. So I'll just set it up and show you guys what I mean. So for me to start this sled the way this is, I have to shim this in, or open up our clutch sleeves, drop that secondary belt way in there. What that does, that gives me a little bit of room here. Pull our adjustment tool out. Now I can actually start it.